Hi everyone, welcome. I'm here with Jenny and we're going to do a short class on the core. This class in itself is really great, quite advanced, it's a lot of work. Really, it's part of our September 30-30 yoga challenge. Yeah, we do a 30-30 yoga challenge in the month of September. The idea is that you try this video out and see where you are at with your strength. You might be able to do everything, but you might just have to sort of stop halfway between certain exercises with the holds or the repetitions, and then you know you've got something to work on. Yeah. So after you've joined us for the 30-30 challenge yoga challenge in September, you'll probably be able to do this all very easily with a smile on your face, and it's really nice to get that feedback before and after. So I hope you'll join us. The 30-30 yoga challenge means 30 days, 30 minutes of yoga, all focused on your core, on your balance, and then sort of a general class to bring it all together every 3 days. Core, balance, general, and it gradually develops in more intensity. Hope you're joining us, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, let's start on the back like Jenny, with your knees bent. And then we're just going to loosen the spine just before we start the challenge, just to keep it all comfortable and safe. So first of all, just bring your knees into your chest for a moment and give yourself a hug and stretch through the sort of the buttocks and the lower back and the side of the hips. You can move around a little bit, take a deep breath, and exhaling, let out. Okay, then you can bring your feet back to the floor, take your arms out in a T shape, and just move your knees from side to side, just in your own rhythm, just kind of dynamically moving the knees from one side to the other side, just to wake up the spine, loosen out the spine. Yeah. And then you can release the knees down to the left and keep them there for just a moment. Take a breath. Open the right lung. Allow the twist to settle and loosen out the body. On the next in-breath, knees back to center, and on the out-breath to the other side. And again, just feel the stretch in the spine. Take a deep breath into your left lung. Let the energy go there. And let the twist settle and open and release the back. And on the next in-breath, you can bring the knees back up. You need a block, okay? And if you don't have a block, a sturdy pillow, a big book would work. But something sturdy that you're going to squeeze between your thighs. So take the long side of the block, actually. Yeah, and then really like that, so that you have a lot to squeeze into. That's the idea. Yeah, and you can release your head so your chin slightly comes up. What we want to keep is the natural curve in the spine. So if you press here the back of your pelvis into the floor a little bit, back of the pelvis, not the lower back, yes, you can actually notice how you have a natural curve arch in the lower back. We want to keep that through the exercise. Not an over arch, but just a natural arch, all right? So you can draw your front ribs in a little bit. You can draw your front hip bones up without flattening the back. Yeah, keep that natural curve. And then on an out breath, squeeze the block now, and you really squeeze it. You give it your go. And then lift your feet just off the floor. Just hover them. Keep your knees bent and just hover them. Is that work? Yes, that's work. So we keep the natural curve. This is a lot easier if you press the low back down. The idea is not to do this. You want to feel this in your abs, not so much in the back, okay? So if you need to press the back down because you feel pain in your back, that's a different story. But if you can, you keep the curve. And we stay for another couple of breaths. Maybe I can get another 30 seconds out of you. And if Jenny needs to put her feet down, she can. If this is too much, you can always lift your feet a little higher and bring the knees a little closer to the body, and it'll be lighter for you. Yeah, it won't be as intense. The closer the feet are to the floor, the more intense the work will be. And stay with that. You might begin to slightly shake a little bit. That's okay. How are you doing? Good. Okay, she's about 45 seconds now in total. So let's see if we can get another 15 out of her. So we'll get to the 1 minute. Stay with it. Yeah, and I'd say gently release the feet down. That's it. Remove the block and let your knees fall out to the side for a moment. Just give yourself a moment here. So this is pretty intense. You can obviously build this up to 2 minutes if you like. And at home, of course, chances are that you had to stop at about halfway or earlier, and that's okay too. And you know what to work towards. And then we're going to move to core plank. So you can first draw your knees back into your chest, stretch out the back for a moment, and then you can rock up and come onto your forearms on all fours and then on your forearms. Yes, great. And then come into your forearm plank. So you're gonna bring your legs out behind. We stay for 1 minute, I've already turned this on. So draw the front body up into the back body. So your front ribs lift into the back body. Your side waist, which is this bit, lifts up. You can draw your tail a little bit. Yeah, and maybe lower the hips a little bit, Jenny. I know it's not gonna be easier that way, but yeah, that's it. And what you can also do is imagine the block between your thighs. It's not actually there, but you draw the feet together without moving them, so the inner thighs do activate. Don't drop your head. So you're looking in front of you to the floor. When you drop your head, something happens in your core. And we stay for another about 20 seconds. You keep pressing through the forearms. You keep opening the collarbones. There is a little bit of softness between the shoulder blades, but at the same time, it's also pressed up. So there's a balance there. It's not like complete rounded, but there's also not a sinking down. There's this balance. A couple of more seconds. Stay with the breath. Of course, at home, you might already be on your knees. Remember, this is a test. So if you need to come out earlier, okay, Jenny, knees down. Just rest for a moment on your belly or in child pose, whatever you prefer. Great. Just really rest. Take a moment. Let the body settle. And also this, you can build up to 2 minutes, of course. So possibly you were able to do this, but at the end you can much more easy do it at the end of the challenge, or you can only hold a couple of seconds, and at the end you will suddenly be able to do this while you laugh. So we'll see. And the next one will be leg swing side by side. So we lie on the back. You can have your head there now. And then you can do this 2 ways. You can do it so that your knees are over your hips and your feet, your lower legs are parallel to the floor, this way, the way Jenny has it. This will be the easier way. So if you're still building up strength, and what we've done till now was already pretty intense, do this. Or you can make it more intense, extend your legs up to the ceiling. We'll let Jenny do this one. And I'm not going to get involved, so I'm not going to swing it back, but you're just going to test your own strength by doing 10 times each side. So we're going to inhale and bring the legs down to the right. And we're going to exhale and pull the legs back to center. Yes, and inhale to the left. And exhale, draw your navel in, back to center. Keep going, your rhythm. I'll count. This is 2. And this will be 3. On the out breath coming up, on the in breath to the side. And this will be 4. And Jenny, if it's a little much for you, then you can also bend your knees. So anytime at home, remember. And then this will be 5. Or you can stop at 5 at home. This is your test about building up. So if you need to stop halfway, we're working on it. And after the 30-30 challenge, you'll be able to do, this is 6, I think, isn't it? Yeah. And this is 7. You will be able to do it laughing. And we'll be at 8. Jenny has her palms flat, which is a good idea. It gives you a little bit of extra stability. And then 9. And this is hard work, 10 of them. And 10. And I know Jenny is even struggling with that. Feet down, let your knees drop, hands on your belly, take a moment. Jenny's even struggling with that, and she's strong, so, she's doing yoga regularly, so it would be also something that you kind of need to do regularly to be comfortable with. Yeah, just let it settle, let it soften. Okay, then you can bring your knees together. And we just stretch out the belly after this. Bring your arms next to the body, palms flat. Draw your shoulders into the floor. Feel the feet exhaling, and on an in-breath, press the feet down, lift your hips up. And do this just to lengthen out and to stretch out the front of the body. Take a deep breath into your belly. You can lift your chin a little bit. Yes, lovely. Exhale. And another 2 more deep full breaths, opening the front. And another one. Yes. Okay, bring the hips back down. We'll do one last one actually. Roll on the back, on the stomach. And we'll do locust. It's also just to remind ourselves that core is not just your abdominals. It's the inner thighs, we worked on that. It's the lower belly, and it's also the back muscles, especially the lower back. So bring the forehead to the floor. Yeah, you can have your palms down indeed. And then navel into spine, and on an in-breath, lift your head, lift your upper body and your legs and your arms. And maybe we can hold this for a minute. So it's starting now. And of course, Jenny, if you need to come down, if any back problems or pain or pinching arises, please come down. And otherwise, we will keep it for a little bit longer. Stay with it. Here too, you keep reminding your inner thighs to work. So even if there is no block, imagine squeezing it anyway. Don't crunch the back of the neck. So you could sort of slightly keep your chin a little bit down so that the neck is happy after this too. So there's about 20 seconds more for the 1 minute. Of course, come out whenever you need to. Ten more seconds. Take a deep in breath. On the out breath, let go. Rest. Yeah. And you can just very gently roll your bum around a little bit from left to right. Your hips. Just loosen out any tightness, any tension. And then you might want to finish in child pose. Or in a downward dog, whatever your body likes. Sometimes child pose is good. Sometimes you want the stretch, the lengthening of the spine rather than the rounding first in a downward dog. So it's your choice which one you want to take. And then after the down dog, after you've really got the lengthening, so at home as well, if you don't get the length in your spine, you bend your knees like Jenny is showing now. And then you can drop into child pose and we finish. Yeah, you can have the arms alongside the body if you like, or stretching out to the front like Jenny. And that was it. That was your core self-test. So after you've taken another deep breath into your lower back to really stretch it out, you can lie on your back and take a few minutes of relaxation yourself at home. Yeah, just to let everything settle, relax, let the nervous system calm down so that when you come back into the world, with your regular life, your body and nervous system are happy to do so. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.